The Palm phone is interesting. You don't really need the specs because there isn't really anything this size competing with it, at least when you're looking at other carriers. But it's not 2018 anymore, but the hardware still is. So I have two questions. Why do you need this? And is the Palm phone worth buying in 2022? Hello everyone, Matt from Real World Review here. Social media is here as well, and now let's talk about the phone that isn't really a phone. So let's get down to business. Why would someone want this today? The processor is a Snapdragon 435 chip, something that is so bad that when I run a compute test on Geekbench 5, the phone just freezes. Not to mention, other phones with this chip feature a 2000 mAh battery or higher, and this one is only 800 milliamps. I mean, charging speed pretty much max out at 3 watts out of that USB-C port because the battery is 2 to 3 times larger than an Apple Watch battery, while something like an iPhone will be 10 to 15 times larger. Sure, we get the small 3.3-inch display, but common sense will let you know that a full day is difficult to do on this phone with how power hungry that slow processor is. It does not make GPS or games pull less power, so an hour of navigation is actually a likely situation. Not to mention, if you do buy this phone used, you can get a battery that is up to 3.5 years old. But like I said earlier, specs don't really matter because there's nothing in this form factor to compare it to, besides Unihertz, Jelly, and Atom devices, but those are dramatically thicker and heavier than the 62.5 gram phone. Okay, so the phone is very portable and very light, but what do you do with it? And for the last month, I've really been thinking about this because I don't want to use this as an actual phone. And ultimately, it's not really a phone, but it does have those features. It still runs full Android, albeit Android 8. But a music remote for something like Spotify is pretty cool. Or you can use GPS on this phone, while your full phone can save some battery or be used for other things. Maybe you want to put this and your wallet and all that other stuff into a small bag, like if you're going on vacation and such. I mean, there are some use cases for a small phone, and this one kind of fits into it. One that I recently thought of was going to the gym. You can connect to the Wi-Fi while you're there, still get social media notification, listen to music, and so on while your real phone stays at home or in your car. Not to mention, this phone is water resistant, at least on paper. So in theory, this should be ready for beach or pool usage, though I obviously don't recommend submerging the phone. While I wouldn't recommend this as a full-on phone, a temporary couple-hour phone or a Wi-Fi device makes sense for this size. But if you don't care about the size, then this phone makes no sense. I guess if I haven't answered your question, the answer should be a no. You should not buy this phone. It is a nice looking digital pager almost sort of device, but the companion aspect is not set up like a smartwatch. If we got features like that where it would mirror an Android or even an iPhone, then I could see some extra use cases for this phone. As far as I know, only Verizon allows for the companion aspect, but I've never really heard of anyone using it like that. And when it's explained to me, it feels like it's just using an internet connection. Messaging goes over Wi-Fi rather than SMS, so I guess it is kind of a companion device. Honestly, it's really hard to say, but this phone was $350 new, dropped down to $250, then dropped off Palm's website altogether, or at least they're saying it's sold out. Amazon does have them new, but used ones can generally be found for under $100. But, I mean, iPhone 7s are found under $100, while Samsung S8s and S9s are commonly found under or around that $100 price point as well. This, of course, is only if size doesn't matter to you. And don't get me started on how bad this camera is on this phone, even though it is rocking a 12 megapixel sensor on the back and an 8 megapixel sensor on the front. Of course, the camera is on there just because, while the iPhone 7 and the Samsung S8 are heavily optimized and obviously they're on purpose. Now, if you made it this far, let me tell you something. There is hope for this phone. Well, really we need a sequel, but this phone is really good at being a small device, being super thin and light. Losing this seems easy to do, but it's not that easy in practice. I honestly love the design of this phone, looking very sleek and premium, similar to the OnePlus X. I just wish there was a second generation of this phone, or maybe an XL version that's like similar to the iPhone mini size, because we do need some more decent compact phones. Seeing that this phone is going on 4 years, I don't really think that Palm is going to do much to help this phone in its current state, especially with Android 8. And that's all I wanted to talk about, but what do you think about the Palm phone? the smallest phone you should consider, just as long as you don't use it as a phone. Let me know in the comments and the socials listed above, and as always, thanks for watching.